What's up, poker people? My name's Wes, and this is my poker vlog. Today, we've got a cash game session coming from Prime Social in Houston, Texas. This game is played on an RFID table where you can see everybody's cards. Let's get into the action.
It's Wes's game. Wes, it's your game, man.
That's right, this is Wes's game. We've got a 1-3-6 cash game session here today. The minimum buy-in was 100, which nobody did, and the maximum buy-in was infinity. Most people bought in for $1,000 to $3,000. I bought in for $3,000. Got a couple of people that bought in for $3,000. Starting in this hand, we've got a raise in the cutoff and a call from the button. I know you can see their hands, but I couldn't. I decided to 3-bet from the small blind. This is very early on in the session. Button's gonna call. We're gonna go to a flop. I've actually never played with this guy on the button. Didn't really know anything about how he would play. Still just a pair of nines on this flop, but I thought I might still be ahead. I decided to c-bet. And the issue with c-betting here in this spot and also on this board is I didn't know how many chips this guy had. Being in the one seat and him in the nine, I couldn't see his stack, and now when he raises to 300, I glance over and realize he only had about 500 chips after the flop, and I'm now giving myself a 2-to-1 scenario, pot odds wise, to basically shove on this guy. I was thinking maybe this guy just has a flush draw and we can win this one, but this was early on in the session. Didn't really have a read on how this guy was playing, so I did put him all in, and of course he snap called with ace queen. Brick for me. He's gonna win a decent pot of about $1,000, and I'm gonna start stuck just like always. It folds around to me in the hijack, and I look down at ace-7 suited. Decide to raise it up. Again, remember this is a 1-3-6 game, so we got 3 guys in the blinds. We really have to get it through. Probably not gonna get it through too often, but we'll most likely have the best hand often enough. So you can see the $6 straddle did call, and I missed the flop, but he checks to me, and I'm gonna c-bet. Probably gonna c-bet most aces in this spot. And I get check raised. I wasn't immediately convinced he actually had a big hand. I was also thinking about all the cards I could turn, anything from basically a 3 to an 8 that could give me a straight draw, and then all the clubs that could give me a flush draw. And then I also remembered this hand that we played before.
All in.
He's all in. I can't fold.
Call. Good call.
Oh, he said good call. He shows pocket nines? Okay, yeah, I'm not folding. So I go ahead and make the call. We'll go into the turn. The turn is a 7. It doesn't give me a straight draw or a flush draw, but instead a pair, which seems worse, but he does bet 125. I think I'm gonna call and see one more card. See if he bets again, big on the river, or if he checks to me. Just gonna act like I'm really unsure, but I know I'm never folding once I make a pair on the turn. Let's see a river dealer. Now, some of the straight draws did get there on the turn, so I decided once the 7 came in, I didn't really think I was going to raise him on the river. I call pretty quickly, and he shows Jack 10 for top pair.
Oh, dude, Wes is back, bro.
Yep.
He did check raise me correctly, but I went runner 7s. Back up to $2,700, only down about $300 now, and I am winning the VPIP race. Look at me go. Pocket aces in middle position, raises up to 20. Ambrose on the button with Jack 5 suited. For some reason he's touching his chips and he makes a call. Drew on the other hand, 3 bets in the small blind to 100. I decided I was just gonna call, play this in position against Drew, who's pretty aggressive. It's on Ambrose now. He has a decision to make. How badly does he want to play Jack 5 suited? He folds, and we have a King 8-6 flop with 2 hearts. Expecting Drew to c-bet here. I was pretty surprised when he didn't. I honestly thought if he was checking this flop, he had a lot of hands that probably weren't going to call a bet, but And there's no reason to just give him a free card to hit whatever it is he needs. So I did bet, and he did call, which I was kind of surprised. I don't think he can have a hand as strong as Ace King, for example, so I'm not really sure what this 6 on the turn does. I do have the Ace of Hearts, which blocks plenty of the flush draws he could have, Ace Queen of Hearts, for example, and I also think he would have c-bet any flush draw. So when I bet on the turn, I really didn't expect him to call. I thought this was the point where he was going to go ahead and give up on the hand, but he did tank for a little while. Yep, he's about to fold. And suddenly he's like, no, I'm going to call. Drew makes the call. This is now almost a $900 pot. 4 hearts on the river. I don't think that affects me in this hand as far as I shouldn't be up against very many flush draws, but Drew may not like that card.
Wes is gonna bet how much here? Looking like he's going for about 400.
I honestly like a even 500 here. Like, I think 500 is...
625. Wow.
I think that's
hefty.
too much.
He's not getting called.
I think that's too much.
I just don't see that this can get called here. What calls you except a king?
I mean, Wes wants a king for him to call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just don't see a king checking that river. Maybe? I don't know.
Oh, Drew does fold, and he had pocket jacks. Yeah, it's tough to call on that board unless you think I'm just full of it. I'm raising it up with king, queen suited. Now I'm gonna let you see what these guys are calling with. These wide ranges that are gonna get to this flop. We're gonna get to this flop, I think it's 5 or 6 ways. We got a 9-6 offsuit, 9-10 offsuit. We even have a king deuce offsuit, and it's 7-5-4 with 2 of my suit. I'm definitely gonna c-bet this. I hope all these guys have a pair and a straight draw. Let's play a huge pot. Got 2 callers already. Drew is actually gonna raise. He's on the button and he makes it 275 to go. In this hand, I was actually pretty happy that he raised. It gives me a chance to conceal the strength of my hand. It's not likely that I have a flush draw in this spot, raising and just c-betting. I just happen to have king high hearts. So if the heart does come in, I don't think people will immediately put me on it now that Drew raised on the flop. So I call, we go to the turn, heads up, and it's the ace of diamonds. I wasn't really thinking I was gonna win this hand if I hit a king or a queen most of the time. Some of the time I will, but I really thought Drew probably flopped a pretty good hand, possibly even a straight. So I was looking for a heart and only a heart. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna continue in this hand to almost any bet that Drew makes. He makes it 5-10 to go. This is a decent bet size, but if I can hit a heart, and if he had a heart draw, which it turns out he actually does, this could be a huge pot. Now he does have the 6 of heart gut shot, straight flush draw. Let's put a heart dealer. 8 of clubs. I check over to him, and with 4 cards to a straight, he does check back, and he wins with 2 pair on the river. A heart on the river for sure would have been an all-in and a snap call, but instead, Drew wins the hand. You can see in this hand the players are discussing something, and we're trying to orchestrate the $12, $24, $48, and $96 straddle, which is the cap in this game. Trying to get Ray on the top right to go ahead and put in the 96. He keeps saying, but I already have my cards, which is a fair thing to say, but we were paying attention because we did want him to straddle to the 96. And we're like, hey, you didn't look at your cards, we watched you. So he says, okay, I'll put in the 96. And we have a $96 straddle pre-flop. It folds all the way to Ambrose in the $24 straddle, and he looks down at King Jack offsuit. He's checking the stack sizes, but he's definitely going to be raising this. And look at that, Ray woke up with pocket tens in the $96 straddle. Ambrose goes to raise $275 and then just says, just leave this 24 out there. The raise is actually to $299 pre-flop, and Ray's gonna call. We'll go into a flop. The flop is jack high. Ambrose hits a jack, and Ray's looking at an overcard to his pair of tens. Ambrose putting together a c-bet of $325. Druve is not in this hand, so just ignore that. Oh, we got a raise coming from Ray. I don't know what this is trying to accomplish, but look at Ray. He looks pretty confident. He's pretty happy putting this money in. Clearly thinks he has the best hand, but Ambrose is asking, how much do you have behind? Ambrose is just like, I don't know, whatever. I have top pair, so here's like 2,000 of purples. I guess you're all in. And now Ray's not sure what to do because he just has pocket tens on a jack high board and he's put most of his stack out there. He's kind of in a tough spot, but he put himself there. That man no longer looks confident. But F it, he's gonna call. They decide to run it once. All right, let's see two dealer. Ambrose hits two pair. Ray does not hit a 10. Ambrose is gonna pick up a 4.2K pot in a hand where we convinced Ray to straddle.
Wes has got aces here.
155 3-bet with 6-3 at diamonds.
Gotta love it, man.
This
Gotta
is
love
just, these are not lines you're going to see anywhere else in the country. I'm going to go ahead and say that.
That's the truth. So there was a 3-bet already on the button. I decided to 4-bet from the blinds. Gary's gonna look at his hand and toss it, and check out Drew's reaction. He loves the play. Drew's gonna raise his button to $20. We're gonna get a call from both the small blind and the big blind. I'm gonna look down at ace jack offsuit. I'm gonna call two. We're gonna go 4 ways to this flop. The flop is jack 9-8 with 2 hearts. The blinds check to me, and I decide I'm gonna go ahead and lead out here with top. I bet and Drew folds quickly, but Justin's gonna call. And Tim's gonna call. I'm basically done with this hand unless I hit a jack or an ace. The turn queen's not gonna do it. Now any 10 makes a straight. They check to me and I'm just done with this hand. Let's go. River 3 doesn't help anybody. Justin's gonna fire out $75 and Tim's gonna think about it. He's thinking. Tim? Oh, okay. Tim raises to 200 and I snap fold. It's over to Justin. He starts grabbing chips, but then he decides to muck it. Tim had 9-5 offsuit and Justin slow played pocket kings pre-flop and folded the best hand. There's an updated chip count, 2.4K. And now it's time to get a little bit spicy with 7 deuce offsuit. I'm gonna raise it up with 7 deuce on the button. Now in the 3 blind game, you do have to get through more people than normal. But I do take it down pre-flop and I show everybody and we start joking about how much do I owe you, even though we weren't playing the 7 deuce game. But this is when we started playing the 7 deuce game right here. $25 a person if you can win with 7 deuce from here on out. Here's some updated charts, still leading the VPIP with 47% and down about $500. I'm gonna raise up Queen 8 suited in this hand. It says I'm under the gun. We've got a couple players missing from the table, so it's not as bad as it might seem. Gonna get a couple callers. Gonna go 3 ways to a flop with Queen 8 of hearts. I flop an open-ended straight draw, and since I have a queen in my hand, I could actually have a bigger straight than someone else who just has an 8 should a jack come. I decide I'm gonna c-bet. It's over to Drew on the button with 9-7 for 2 pair, and even Tim has top pair with king 10. Tim decides to call the raise, as do I, and we're gonna go 3 ways to the turn. The turn's an 8. I do not make a straight, and this board is getting very scary, but we all check it around. The river's a 6, that puts a straight on the board. Nobody has a jack, so whoever bets at this is gonna win, but this can get kind of scary when you know you're just betting the board. There's 394 in the pot. I'm gonna try to steal it. I bet 525. Drew's gonna fold his 2 pair, and Tim thinks I'm hilarious. He loves the bet. You gonna call, buddy? You still have cards. Oh, no, he folds. Working my way back up to even with a 2.8k stack, and still on top of the VIP leaderboard. Who the f is Drew? All right, I got another chance with 7 deuce offsuit, this time under the gun. All right, let's see if we can get this through and pick up $25 a player. Start with the raise, doing the same size I would do if I had a hand. Problem this time is you're gonna see, check out all these premium hands that call my raise, such as 9-10 offsuit and Jack 9 offsuit. Kevin does have pocket 5s. Oh, but we got an 8-4 suited in there. On a queen 10 flop, I thought maybe if nobody had a queen or a 10, I could get this through with a small bet. Problem is Ambrose has a 10. He's gonna call. We're going to a turn heads up. Oh, nope. Kevin's gonna call with pocket 5s for some reason. Turns an 8, kind of a scary card. Things are starting to get a little bit more straighteny. Check it over to Ambrose. We check it over to Kevin and he checks. On this river, it's a jack. Man, I really thought I could get this through. This is a pretty scary card unless somebody actually has a straight, which Ambrose does. So I bet 75 and Ambrose is gonna snap call. Kevin's gonna get out of the way. And Ambrose is gonna save everybody from having to pay $25. So I guess I'm done with the 7 deuce game. In this hand, we have the new player Kevin, who you saw last hand, trying to orchestrate something. We had been playing a pretty straightforward straddle structure until this, but he wants to put $500 out there and we're not gonna stop him. We need to get Drew to put out a straddle so Kevin can be the next straddler, which is what we're trying to tell him. Drew, put out a straddle, don't look at your cards. He seems to not understand, we're yelling, don't look at your cards, put the straddle out. So he puts the $12 straddle out. And now Kevin is supposed to put the $500 straddle on. And he does. So now we're playing a $500 straddled hand pre-flop. It folds around to me and I look down at pocket jacks. I just make it $1,200. I want to give Kevin a great price to see a flop or shove. He decides to go with seeing a flop. I don't even want to see the flop. I literally hid my eyes this entire time until I heard Kevin act, which he says, I'm all in. And still hiding, I put out a call and we're gonna rip this one.
Fuck! Fuck! You got me. No, you don't. Actually, maybe. You're not.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I thought I had the flush. Sorry.
That's so
Oh my
gross.
What? What do you have?
Jacks. Pocket jacks.
Unlucky, but
Now he did have a lot of outs. It is kind of gross that he went running 10-10 instead of just hitting a king or a heart. But the grosser thing is that he pretty much racked up right away, played a couple more hands and just left. I did add on 2K after that hand, so now I am into the game for $5,000. And here's a look at my pre-flop raise percentage. 26% of the hands I play, I raise. Please like and subscribe, or I'm going to stop making videos for a year. Again. We joined this hand on the flop where I raised pre-flop with pocket tens on the button, and Drew called in the $6 straddle. I flop a set on ace 10-6 and c-bet, and Drew is calling. This might seem familiar to some of you guys that watched a live stream a couple weeks ago where I flopped a set of tens on an ace-high board against Drew, and he went runner straight for a huge pot. But I can't think about that now. All I'm thinking about is betting and getting Drew to call with whatever it is he has. So I bet flop and turn. Both times I thought he might fold. He calls and we're gonna see a river. I'm thinking about my sizing when, to my surprise, Drew starts to reach for his chips. And as soon as he bet here, I thought, oh my God, he has ace 7. What should my sizing be?
You know what? This is where a sicker bet would be, like, mim raise it. Drew.
I think you go to 750.
Let it quad.
I think 750 is the spot here.
Yep, I agree.
9 seems too much. Oh, he's going too deep. He went too deep. 1100 is too much.
I was pretty sure he had ace 7 and I wasn't sure why it took him so long to call. I didn't think he really thought I had a set if he was calling along the way. I agree with what the announcers say here.
If you find a fold here, what else did you want? Is my question.
He calls.
He called. He's gonna see the news.
Okay, we're getting closer to even. Again, I'm in for 5K. It's gonna show at this point I have 4.4K. Trying to get back and get into the positive. All right, we got a $24 straddle on my right. I'm gonna look down and raise it up. I make it $75 to go. I'm gonna get 2 callers. What is it that I have? I got ace 3 suited in spades. I'm gonna be in position and I flop an ace. Now, I don't think this hand is a 3 street betting hand, so I decided to check the flop. We go to the turn, the board pairs the 6, ace 10, 6, 6. They check to me, it's time to go for a little bit of value. I bet 100. Justin decides to call with his pocket 8s. The river's a deuce, so the question here is, can I actually get value from a worse hand? I didn't know he had pocket 8s in this hand, but I'm trying to think about what hands he can call with. I did think he might call with a 10 or some sort of pocket pair. Decided to go a little bit big, 325 on the river. Will Justin call an over pot size bet with pocket 8s? And he does. Justin's going to raise it up to $35 with pocket 8s, and Tim has 4-3 suited. He's going to call, and I've got queens in a squeeze spot. How much to make it? I'm going to be in position in this hand. Decide to make it 165. Maybe this will just look like a steal and somebody will do something stupid, but Justin just calls. And I was really shocked when I watched this back to see that Tim folded 4-3 suited in this spot. Seems like a great time to try to crack a big hand. It's an ace high flop of 2 diamonds. I do have the queen of diamonds. Justin checks to me and I decided to pot control and check back. You can't see because the action tracker got a little bit behind. The turn was the 6 of diamonds. Justin leads out, and I decided to play this a little bit different than normal. I'm gonna raise this turn card. Gives us a chance again to gain control for the river. And he just folds right there. And I am officially up for the session. Let's go. All right, I've got 7 deuce again, and I decide to try it one more time. I 3-bet to $75. I get heads up with Justin. He's in position, and I hit a 7, so I guess I don't need to bluff anymore. I'm gonna check it over to him. Justin makes a bet. Now that I have a 7, I'm definitely gonna call. The turn pairs the board, and I decide to get a little bit tricky. Again, remember, we've got 7 deuce. We're not trying to play GTO. We are trying to be exploitative. So I'm going to represent some sort of full house or straight or 9. And I bet this turn, trying to get Justin to fold, but he does not.
Oh!
And he's gonna get the quarter. He's gonna
get the quarter from everybody. He backdoors into a boat, and he might get a call from Justin on this river bet. That's good, clean karma. 450. I don't. Oh, that feels heavy. Call. Oh, he's gonna call.
Yeah,
he's got body language. He's gonna call.
You're getting awfully close to just flipping those cards.
Yeah.
Like it's half and half right now.
I still think
honestly.
he's calling. He looks like he's gonna flip the chip in.
It's tricky. I feel like he's always about to flick it with his finger.
Now it feels fold.
Yeah, I feel like that's about push.
Oh, he calls.
Oh, he's calling.
Oh my god.
Oh, 7 deuce game.
And he had the best hand. That should be illegal, dude.
That should be illegal. Having the best hand.
Dirty. He's
gonna find out he has to give him an extra quarter after he just called off bad. That's so tilting.
Oh, brutal, bro.
That extra quarter is so tilting.
That is what we call a needle.
I was up $1,000 when the stream game ended, but we did move to a side table to keep playing, and I ended up cashing out up $3,100 for the session, which I was pretty happy with after that big bad beat with Jacks versus King 10. Please like this video so that YouTube can send more viewers my way. And please subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications when new videos come out. And check out my live streams every Wednesday and Saturday on the Prime Social channel.